Well, it just turned noon here. I know that's late for me to begin recording, but the video for March the 5th, 2017 is entitled, "They Are Afraid of the Light of Truth." Quote, "We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light." End quote. That was Plato. Again, Plato was right. We live in a culture where those who seem to be in charge are so afraid of the light of truth that they go to great measures to hide revealing facts from the masses, keeping us in the dark and the bondage of fear. Of course, many of these so-called leaders have committed unspeakable acts, which, if they were to become widely known, would completely overturn the political, religious, and social structure of the world. To me, our leaders are, as I see it, sociopaths and psychopaths who somehow thrive on committing abominations so horrific that if known by us, the people would incite a major shift in human consciousness and experience. Is this shift what is prophesied by many as we enter the Age of Aquarius? I certainly hope so, and more of us are paying attention, hoping the so-called elite get their rude awakening. Yes, as I said, I'm recording this starting right around noon. And the sun is up in the sky high enough. If my window faces east, and when I have it open in the morning, if I wait till sunrise, I've got to pull the blinds and everything because the sun is too bright in my face. But anyway, this is a subject matter that I think many people are waking up to, and I think the elite are realizing that we are waking up. We are beginning to understand that the things that they have been doing for millennia, folks, the atrocities to children and the human sacrifice and the horrific things, murders is only part of it. It's insane. It's insane what these people, beings, whatever they are, have gotten away with throughout the ages. They feel like they are supposed to be dominant, and they are, as I see it, demon-possessed individuals. And a vast majority of our, quote, political leaders, and even our religious leaders, folks, the pedophiles in the church, it's awful what these people do in their rites in what is that place in California where they go every year? I forgot the name of it right off the top of my head, but they go Bohemian Grove. They go to Bohemian Grove every year, and they have rituals that depict sacrifices and human sacrifice and other things, because this is the mentality that this demonically inspired group seems to be pushing, and they entrap many people by promising them riches and by promising them power. And I think there's some good people that have been entrapped in the system, and if they tell the truth, many of them get silenced in one way or another, often murdered, suspiciously so. But of course, that's all covered up because they own the authorities. They own the police and the courts, and the system is controlled by people of malevolent intent. And why this was ever allowed to happen in our world, I don't know. Some say that it's because we have to understand darkness before we can appreciate the light. We have to understand how bad things can be before we can experience the height of our good potential, of our benevolent potential. Is that true? I don't know if it's true or not. But this is a suggestion that some have made, that I've probably made it myself, because I've believed that there has to be some way of explaining the insanity of a world where the worst possible beings seem to be the ones that are given the power of being in charge. And, you know, I've railed against this, folks. You've heard me. You've heard me. And if the truth comes out, and it's coming out, it's going to implode the structure. That's why the Democratic Party is in such uproar over Trump. Now, I'm not saying Trump is some angel or anything like that, but he's like the last Trump. The trumpet is sounding, and people are being given the opportunity to wake up. And of course, the establishment, the elite establishment, pays people that need money to be protesters. Now, I'm not saying everybody that's protesting is being paid to do so. Some do it because they've been cajoled and brainwashed in some other way to think that Democrats are better than Republicans, or that the system somehow can be fixed. And it's neither Republican nor Democrat. It's neither Catholic nor Protestant. It's neither Jewish nor Hindu or Buddhist or Muslim. It's none of the above that's going to fix the world. What is going to fix the world is truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That is a saying of Jesus, and I'm sure other people said it in similar words that mean the same thing, but it takes knowing where we are in order for us to awaken. And when we awaken, then we can step into our power and understand what power is. It's not something that allows us to dominate others. It allows us to heal ourselves and to heal others and to help and to manifest benevolence and goodness instead of always trying to play one-upmanship on everybody else. We can step into a realm where we actually start producing a world that works. And if you haven't noticed, the world that we've been living in all of our lives doesn't work anymore. Something happened. Are we in the age of Aquarius? Some would say yes. We were entering it toward the end of the 20th century, and we're still in that gap between the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius, I guess. We're in the gap in the middle, and there's an overlap of the dominant features in each age that are commingling, except that the light will put out the darkness. Ultimately, the light has to win, because light is stronger than dark. The only way that dark exists is by shadow, not any power of its own. And we have to begin to realize a higher truth. And the higher truth is what all of the spiritual teachers taught through the ages. And I don't care if you're talking about Rumi and Hafiz, who were Muslims, or Jesus, or even Muhammad had some really good things in the beginning. And yet, in Western culture anyway, Islam has been taken over by radicals and militants and people that have subverted that. But Christianity was subverted. Judaism was, all of the religions have become subverted by those that want to exercise power and control over you and me, the people of the world. And we need to wake up. We need to come together. We need to love one another. We need to stop fighting and listen to each other and not argue. I'm not into argument. If it gets into the arguments, I'm out of it. But I'm willing to discuss things as long as it doesn't get to the level of argumentation. That is, to me, meaningless and pointless, to argue over something that is simply, you can't prove something until it becomes reality. Then it's obvious and there's no proof needed. Anyway, thank you for listening again to this video about those that are afraid of the light of truth. Namaste.